Welcome back everyone. Quickly, let's continue our discussion on HTML inputs. And right now, we'll be discussing about the HTML input type of date. The HTML input type of date is used for input fields that should contain a date. Depending on browser support, a date picker can show up in the input field. So I'm going to show you how this works quickly. So let's get back to our page. In our previous tutorial, we are having this form, but I've made a little changes. I'm going to tell you what I did. In our previous tutorial, we have been discussing about the text input, password input, submit input, reset input, radio input, checkbox input, button input, and this color input. And this color input is the one I made a little changes to it, because when I'm trying to bring it out, when I'm trying to show the default value, default look of this color input, it's somehow wider than I expected. So I try to control it using CSS, and I hope you should also be able to do that. I'm going to show you the code how it looks like, because I'm not in this tutorial to discuss about that right here. That's why I don't want to talk too much about it for now. But right here, as you can see, we are still on HTML form playlist. You can check our HTML form tutorial playlist, so you can be able to follow along. You can check our input playlist, the HTML input playlist, input type playlist. We have different playlists on this same topic. For you to follow along, you can check different playlists. So this color input type right here, we have did something. I'm going to show you the code. As you can see, here's the little code I had to it that changed the way it looks. Let me remove it so you can see what I did. In our previous tutorial, this is how it looks. Can you see the way it looks? I don't like the way it looks because it don't let my document looks more neat like I want again. So I control it using my CSS. I just give it CSS style. I give it width of 20 pixels and also height of what 20 pixels. You should be able to do that. We have discussed about that also in our previous tutorial. So let me save it again. So now what we are here for right now is our HTML input type of date. So quickly, let's use it. Let's create another input right after our HTML input type of color. After it, we want to write another input. The input we are trying to use today is input type of date. So right here, let's save our document. But before we save it, let's remove all this so you can know that we are not using them for now. We are not using them for now. We use them later. Let's reload our document. Can you see? Immediately we are seeing this month, date, and year. This stands for month, this DD stands for date, and this YYY stands for year. So when we click this, can you see? This automatically pop up August 2024 because we are in August. So this automatically generates the date I'm recording this tutorial for you. Presently, as you can see, currently right now, the date is 30th of August 2024. So if you want this kind of calendar, you can have it, and you can see it is having this function which you can use to clear it. As you can see, let's say for instance you have already selected the date like this. After you've selected it, you now notice that you have something else you want to do to it. Let me increase this so you can see what I'm doing. As you can see, here is the date. Let's say for instance now you selected the date and you want to clear this date. Instead of you putting your mouse here and start deleting it one by one, you can just click on it again and can press clear. It will clear automatically. So let's select another date so you can see what I'm talking about. Can you see? When I selected that one, it automatically generated it for me. And when I want to clear it, I click clear. When I click clear, it's clear automatically. So let's say right now we want to generate this date. That's where the form begins. Let's use this form. Let's take this date using our input type of submit. So let's try to submit it. Now don't forget we are already having our color right here also selected, so it's going to go with it, but this is the one we want to target, we want to focus on. So we are focusing on what? The date. So let's submit it. Can you see? We are not seeing our date right here at all. Our index.php file here is expecting the date, but it's not seeing the date. As you can see, it's only the color we are able to see because it's the only one we selected out of all the elements we are having in our form. So now let's get back to our document. The thing that remains now is that we need to give it a name for it to work. Let's firstly do it like this without giving it any value. Now let's get back to our form and reload it. When we reload it and send, let us send it now. Can you see? We are unable to receive any value, any date value. We don't receive it at all. So let's get back to our document again. So definitely we need to give it a value. So I'm going to give it dd, or you can give it anything. Let's just give it do, so you can understand that you can give it any name you want. So let's reload our document and submit it again. Can you now see? Now our date is heading to our index.php file for processing. So as you can see, 2024-08-30, this do is taking our date to our what? To our index.php file form handler. So that's what I want to show you guys. If you don't do this, nobody will try to do it for you. Make sure you practice. So I'm going to show you something again. Let's now say you can change this to date if you want, so that it can look neat to your face. So let's reload it again. Let's submit it again. Can you now see? This our date now is heading to our file using this date. This date is now taking our date to the what? To our index.php script file. That's what I want to show you guys. So let's get back to our document. As you can see, we are perfectly done with this. So we can still add some stuffs to this. So let's quickly add something like label. Let's add label. Let's call this date label, and write something date input. This stands for our date input. In the future you can add anything more if you want, but this is nice for now. Let's do it like this, date input. So and save our document and reload it. Can you see? Now we are having date input. I want you to practice everything I'm showing you this every time, please, because practice makes perfect. Anwar Akorede Ayofe is my name. I wish to see you guys next time. Have a great day. Thank you so much, and to the next.